All right, hello there. So let's go ahead and finish these last few examples before we were interrupted by the fire drill, and then third period we just didn't finish because also the fire drill made class start late. So here we go. So it was these problems here, and I'll just go ahead and do 11 as well, just since we're here. All right, so let's see. So in these problems, you notice that we have this item here. We have something squared. Now, if we really wanted to, we could do this. We have x minus 4. We could write it twice. We could, like, multiply it out, like FOIL it all out, and then combine like terms with these things here. We could do all that, but it's too much trouble and too much, room for error. So a better way to do this is to clean this up, take away the 8 from both sides. So I get x minus 4 squared equals 25. Because now I can get rid of the square around the x minus 4, so I can get rid of this square right here by doing the square root of both sides. So that's what our plan's going to be. So square root here, square root there. You always have to do it to both sides. All right, so x minus 4 pops out. The square root of 25, I'd say plus or minus 5 here. And then this 4 is going to have to pop over to the other side, because remember, I'm trying to solve for x. So I'm adding 4 to both sides, so I'm going to write positive 4 plus or minus 5. Well, that gives me two answers. One of the answers is 4 plus 5, so 4 plus 5 is 9. The other answer would be 4 but minus 5, so 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So that's how I'm getting my two answers there. So notice the answers are two completely different numbers, whereas in all the other times when we would get answers, it would be like plus or minus 10 or something like that. Okay, here we go. So here I'm going to add 22 to both sides. So I got x minus 1 still squared equals 49. Well, take the square root of both sides. So now it produces x minus 1 popping out. I get plus or minus 7. Well, now I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So my answer is 1 plus or minus 7. So that ends up getting me 1 plus 7 would be 8. And 1 minus 7 would be negative 6. So there's my two answers. All right, on the next one, I had to add 12 to both sides. So I have x plus 6 squared equals 27. So this time when I go to take the square root, it's not going to be pretty, okay? So square root of 27 is not something that we just know. So I have x plus 6 popping out equals plus or minus radical 27. I'm going to clean up the 27 in a minute, but first, why don't we bring this 6 to the other side? It turns into a negative 6 because I'm subtracting 6. So I got negative 6 plus or minus radical 27. So this is the answer, but I should reduce the 27. So let's look at this 27. 27 is 9 times 3. 9 is 3 times 3. So I do have a pair of 3's and one 3 stuck inside. So I should write my final answer like this. Negative 6 plus or minus 3 radical 3. And if I ever needed to, I could go to a calculator and type in negative 6 plus 3 radical 3. So if I wanted to, I could put in, let's see, negative 6 plus 3 radical 3, and there's the decimal for it. And then I could type in negative 6 minus 3 radical 3. So those would be my actual answers, but really we just want to leave it like I had it on the page. Okay. Oopsie, wrong one. All right, so let's do this last one over here. I'm going to go ahead and take away 16 to clean this up. So I have a negative 2 with x minus 3 squared equals negative 12. Now I'm going to divide by negative 2. So I have x minus 3 squared equals 6. So now we're ready for my square root. So luckily, square root of 6, I don't know. X minus 3 pops out. I get plus or minus radical 6, and I can't even reduce it. So I'm going to move that negative 3 over, becomes a positive 3. So my answer is positive 3 plus or minus radical 6. Okay, and just leave it like that. We don't really want the decimals. If we wanted to, you could put it in Desmos like I showed you on the last problem. But really, just leave it like this, and we're all set. Okay, so make sure your homework is these 6 problems and these 6 problems, so all 12. Okay, the ones we just went over kind of dealt with these 2 here. Make sure this guy, solving by factoring, you're going to want to move the 8 over. minus 14x turns into a plus 8. And you want to go ahead and factor those just to remember how to solve by factoring. So you want to get your two answers that way. Okay.